Let's broach this topic systematically in bit pieces so that we can understand truly what's going on. Guys and girls equal. Sounds good. But what does it mean? It's talking about reciprocity, but it's a bit convoluted, because what people aren't realizing is the opposite of equality has actually transpired. And is it equality that we really need? Like, do we need to match fire and water? Do we need to match them when they each have their mystical, powerful element to them? Or is it an equilibrium of merging the water and fire to give it the perfect warmth, not too much to burn and not too much to drown? Because what has happened with this equality item is that, first of all, it's caused a role reversal, as if to assume, and from the pretense that the women were less than. And I can understand that happening because it overspilled from career equality and payment. Agreed. But when that overlaps and spills over to the romantic arena, where a man hunts for his vagina, and then that vagina gets demoted from ruling the roost to equality, being like a penis, thereby chasing penises, then the penis's hunger for that vagina is not the same, because they've got flinging vaginas coming at their penis. But not only that, the real critical error that everybody's overlooking, not everybody, those who are still in this numb zone, is that when you act out of the blueprint of your body, vagina having an opening, thereby waiting to receive first, then give back. When you take that out of order and you take that vagina and you slam it onto a nail on the wall, onto her penises, it changes the chemistry, it changes the structure, it hurts. This is why all you girls are, forget bank rub, but talk about vagina rubbed. You're left empty, you're left depleted, and you're left drained. You guys are not satisfied because you're no longer getting the element of a woman that you crave, which is the one that makes you hungry. Because you cannot be hungry with vaginas flinging at your face. And so in order for that to happen, the female mentality now has to take on a masculine mentality, because she's been persuaded, since she's in her head, thereby can be easily manipulated into not feeling that she's enough across the board, when she was the one that you were in pursuit of. So instead of being that which is in pursuit of, she's doing the pursuing, which will leave her constantly anxious, constantly insecure. But what will that do for the men? Well, that will put the men in a passive state of waiting, of selecting. So they'll lose their initiative. Their dick will become very dull. They will lose their grounding. They will lose their ability to be structured. They will be scattered. They will lose their balls, aka confidence, because they're no longer going at it. They're no longer hunting. They're no longer pursuing. They're no longer strategizing how to get this girl, how to get this woman and this woman. And so what happens is each of the sexes are now operating in an energy that they didn't fundamentally come with to be its priority. So a man came in his masculine energy, but he's plugged into a vagina mentality, so he becomes passive. So that means he's hypercritical, he doesn't have confidence, he's scattered, he's not organized, or he's very fussy. He's overly dramatic. He's obsessed with his looks. And if she comes to him with her feelings being hurt, how dare she disrupt his harmony? He attaches himself to the pain that he's caused her through the action, not understanding and not being able to separate himself and to see was his behavior. So he is triggered and personalizes all requests for change. So he doesn't grow, he keeps stunting in his passive energies, which is why he's passive aggressive. And the girl thereby, because she's acting out of a masculine energy, is now a masculine energy overdrive. So she cannot do enough to prove that she's valuable. So she is completely lost she has no inkling to her value. She's not in the vicinity of value. Her value becomes linked to what she does, what she builds, how much she suffers. Because again, masculine energy overdrive is connected to the brain. So it's built to survive, not to receive and accept love. So if a woman's always wired to survive, that means she's constant fear and she has to attract battles. And when you're in battle, your heart has to be locked in and it can't have feelings. And thereby the value of who you are is locked. So you're too scared of everything. And that overlaps to love. So you become scared of love. You become scared of life. You become scared of intimacy. It's because the openness connected to your value and you only deserve good shit, therefore you only pull good shit, is not there. So what ends up happening with this feminine energy being demoted, feminine energy meaning the feminine spirit, which is a supernatural power of another world. It is a mysterious, alluring, enticing as fuck, irresistible energy. Masculine energies of the world. It's what builds things, it's what pierces things. That's why you have a dick, dude. It points for a reason. Go get the friggin' girl. Don't wait for vagina to come flying at you, because you're not going to like what you get. She's going to try to take over your whole fucking life. So now in the interim of this switching masculine energy being dressed with a woman, we have tanks with dresses in energetic code, energetically approaching men, and this is why men are not lured to them. So men befriend those women. And that's why those women are also isolated. They don't get other nurturing girls, because girls need to be light and they're not attracted to a woman whose heart is closed, because that means she's not going to share her feelings. She's only going to observe and judge because she's in her mind 24/7. So what this ends up doing is it weakens our men and it forces the women to have to be stronger, thereby disconnecting from their body, which is mostly estrogen based, which is designed to process and absorb feelings. So she can't process her feelings. She doesn't even know where to find her feelings. You ask her what's wrong, she just doesn't know. She'll just like flare out. And a guy is so saturated with his feelings because he's no longer in his mind. He's no longer logical. He can't compartmentalize all his issues and have a plan. This is a man with no plan. It's a man with no land. And forget the promised land, the vagina of your dreams. It's not going to fucking happen. And so in the interim, what ends up happening is that each sex weakens their structure of strength. They're not, the woman is trying to be half a man. She'll never be fully losing all the woman she could be. And the man is losing his balls and just fading into nothing. And so they're going to each attract what they don't want. So each sex is losing their strength, thereby fragmented. So fragment in relationships. So we no longer can connect and create an equilibrium of safety in a sacred union. It's fucked. It is not equality. It is death. Equilibrium is where it's at. Not being two soldiers in love. There's no romance. Where logic rules you, magic can't find you. Period.